Welcome to Sopo 3B. This round was brutal, to the point that I kind of made the hints for this round in each of the puzzles tell you what to do. However, most of you managed to persevere, leading to this round having the highest completion rate out of all 3 rounds so far. I think that this round probably has, on average, the hardest puzzles of the entire competition, so you've all made it through the toughest part. Although, that might be wrong, so don't take that as a definitive fact. With this round now being complete, it means that we are now halfway through the competition, and with all teams still being active and attempting every single puzzle, even though some of you did push the deadline a little bit. Anyways, let's get into this round's puzzles. Puzzle 1 was Earth. In this puzzle, I linked you to a spreadsheet where the entire puzzle is located. There are 3 parts to this puzzle: the lyrics, the Earth, and the cipher. The first place to start is the cipher, in which these numbers correspond to the letter of the alphabet you get, giving 5 pairs of locations. What you needed to do was go up to the image of the Earth and draw lines between each pair of locations. Each line would have 2 numbers intersect that line, so you needed to take those 2 lines and go back up to the lyrics. For the final part, you had to do a book cipher on these lyrics with each pair. The first number indicates the row, while the second number indicates the character in that row, giving you this. This leads to 5 letters spelling out V-I-O-L-A, Viola, which is the answer to this puzzle. Anyways, let's see the results. Congratulations, we broke the code on winning the Earth puzzle. Just like Dripswag's win on the Yule puzzle last round, you were one of the few teams I was able to watch live, and it was very exciting being able to watch you do this and approach the 2nd place time. Only 2 teams ended up finishing in under 10 minutes, with our 2nd place team being No Strong Preference finishing only 7 seconds under 10 minutes. In 3rd place with a bit of a jump down to 13.5 minutes is Dripswag Like a Broken Faucet, rounding out our podium. All 3 of these teams have hit the podium before. However, in 4th place is Shocker, Team Uni, who's new to the top 5. Sorry, no. New to the top half. Sorry, no. New to the top 2/3. As I said last round, Team Uni, while not averaging last, did have the worst highest placement, with their best placement before this being 16th. However, they managed to smash it out of the park this round with an amazing sub-15 4th place finish. Finishing up our top 5 is Avian Witch Genius Gremlin Robot, who actually ended up beating out 6th place purple team by only 5 seconds, which was the closest 2 times for this puzzle. Overall, only 9 teams ended up finishing in under 30 minutes, and double that, 18 managed to finish in under 60 minutes. Anyways, congratulations again to Team We Broke the Code for winning this puzzle. Now on to puzzle number 2. The second puzzle was the hidden crossword. Solving the hidden crossword wasn't too difficult, and here is the answer to that. The more difficult part was what comes after that. All of the unused letters in the hidden crossword spell out Anna Meredith's music video for Taken on YouTube. When you go to that YouTube video, Once you get to nearing the end of the video, you find these dice, which correlate to the second picture given. If you jot down all of the dice rolls on each square of the video, you get this. Later on in the video, there are letters in each of the same squares. This is where things get complicated. What you needed to do was take the location of each of the dice rolls and move to where the arrows tell you for each row on the image, and then, whichever square you land on, take that letter. When you do this for every single row, you get one final word, amazement, which is the answer to the second puzzle. Now, let's see the results. Congratulations to Team Drip Swag Like a Broken Faucet. You are now the second team to get 2 wins on 2 separate puzzles in this competition. Funnily enough, your first win was actually this puzzle's sister puzzle, the Yule puzzle last round, as both of these puzzles were made in joint with each other in 2022. Exactly 1 minute later, Team Not Involved in Cheating finishes in second place with a time of 8 minutes and 52 seconds, which also makes the top 2 of this puzzle identical to the top 2 of the Yule puzzle. How strange! That trend breaks with third place No Strong Preference, who got 4th in the Yule puzzle last round, but 3rd in this round. Actually, in this round, both Drip Swag and NSP have podiumed in both puzzles so far. NSP narrowly missed out on a second place though by only 5 seconds, although that somehow was not the closest 2 teams placed this round, as Preytrick beat We Broke the Code by only half a second. That's the first time 2 teams have finished within a second of each other since the very first puzzle, the Zoo, in 1B. In 4th place, finishing exactly 3 minutes after NSP, is Team Puzzles Catface. And another 3 minutes after that is Team Puzzles Catface minus Puzzles. Or, I guess I've been told to call you guys :3 instead of Catface, but whatever. Overall, 14 teams finished in under half an hour, while every single team finished in under 1 hour, meaning this puzzle actually ended up being easier on average compared to the Earth puzzle. So, whoops, I guess I was wrong about the difficulty level there, oh well. Anyways, congratulations again to DSLA BF for winning their second puzzle. Now, onto the final puzzle for this round. The third and final puzzle, putting us at the halfway point of this competition, is Star Battle. In Star Battle, you get 3 different colored star battles, an instructions board, and an extraction board. The instruction board had some different colored edits, and each of the colors matches up with one of the 3 boards. What you had to do was take the color edit and only apply that edit to that specific board. Specifically, the red board needed to not have 2 stars in each section, but have at least 1. The green board could have cells with stars cornering other cells with stars, and the blue board had to have 3 stars per row, column, and section, while there could be up to 2 stars in a single cell. I'm not going to specifically go over how to solve each of these star battles in this video because that would take ages. However, Test Solver Hans has done that. So if you are curious on what the logical solve path is for each of the star battles, you can check that out. Link in the description. Anyways, these are the final solves, and when you overlay all of the solutions onto the extraction grid, you get this. Combining the colors based on the Venn diagram gives you this. only one pink cell, spelling K, 4 cyan cells, spelling ICKS, and 6 yellow cells, spelling TARTEND. Put them together and you get kickstarted, which is the final answer to this puzzle. And now, let's finally see the results. Congratulations to Team Puzzles:3 for winning with an incredible 20 minutes and 13 seconds. You guys came quite close to winning several previous puzzles, but just came short. However, you finally pulled off that win here by nearly 10 minutes too, which is extremely impressive. In second place yet again is Team Not Involved in Cheating with the palindromic 30 minutes and 3 seconds, just barely making Puzzles:3 the only team to finish in under 30 minutes. In third place is Team No Strong Preference, sealing the deal on being the only team to podium in every single puzzle of the round. The only other team that was able to accomplish that before was Preychick in round 1, so huge congratulations to you for being the second team to pull it off. Nearly another 10 minutes later is Team Weekly's Animatics Org, finishing in just under 40 minutes. And 5 minutes later is our current frontrunners Preychick, with their only top 5 finish of the round. The two closest times ended up being Team Bread and Flaps beating Purple Team by only 19 seconds. As you can see by this round's low times, this was probably the hardest puzzle in the competition so far, with multiple teams taking over an hour and a half and even 2 hours, and even a 20-hour time by Team Uni. Only 9 teams ended up finishing in under an hour, and only 15 teams ended up finishing in under 2 hours. Congratulations again to Team Puzzles:3 for finally achieving a puzzle victory, and now onto the overall stats for this round. The overall winners of round 3 are Team No Strong Preference with an average of 2.67. Congratulations NSP, you were the third team to win a round, or well actually fourth because of the tie last round. When looking at the 3/4 round winners, Team Preychick has the best single round average from round 1, but NSP ranks right up there in second. In third place is actually a tie between the two second placers of the first and third round being Not Involved in Cheating from this round and BEFFD8 in round 1. Anyways, as already stated, in second place this round is Team Not Involved in Cheating, who actually beat NSP in 2 of the 3 puzzles, but that third one put them below them. In third place for this round is Drip Swag Like a Broken Faucet, and funnily enough, all 3 of these top teams had a better average than the winning 2 teams of last round. Rounding out the top 5, we have Puzzles:3 and We Broke the Code, both of whom won a round with this round, but Puzzles:3 had the better second place score at 4th, compared to WBTC's 7th, breaking the tie. Now, let's look at the full leaderboards. There's quite a shakeup this round, as Preychick, the previous frontrunners for the first 2 rounds, completely dominating the first round, have fallen to the more consistent Not Involved in Cheating. These 2 teams are the only 2 teams with averages better than 5th, with a 4.11 and 4.78 respectively. Also jumping up 4 ranks thanks to them winning this round is Team No Strong Preference with an overall average of 5.33, rounding out the podium. The next 3 teams are all extremely close to the podium however. Puzzles:3 with a 5.56, Drip Swag Like a Broken Faucet with a 5.67, and AWGGR with a 5.78. This top 6 is all within only about 1.5 average of each other, so things are really heating up. We also have a new last place team, being Hot Mess Express with an average of 18.56. Team Bread and Flaps manages to keep the lowest standard deviation, impressively now being the only team to place in the same tier every single round, improving their best placement from 11th to 10th this round. The second most consistent team is now Team AWGGR, who manages to still keep up with being the only team to place in the single digits every single round. On the other hand, Weekly's Animatics.org now has the highest standard deviation, gaining 1 top 4 and 1 bottom 4 placement this round, although Team :3 does nearly the exact same thing and is second most inconsistent. Now that we're halfway through the game, let's look at some other miscellaneous stats. Here are the average completion times for all 9 puzzles so far. The Zoo was the easiest with an average time of 14 minutes and 7 seconds, and Star Battle was the hardest with an average time of 2 hours and 17 minutes. Although, that's not particularly indicative of the actual average, since Team Uni's 20-hour time wasn't them actually puzzling for 20 hours straight. So here's an average chart without those extreme outliers. As expected, this does put round 3 to be on average the hardest round, with 2 being on average the easiest. Next up, this chart compiles every single time for every single puzzle so far. As expected, seeing how the Zoo has been the easiest puzzle so far, the Zoo takes up 7 out of 10 of the top 10 fastest individual puzzle times, while Transformations takes up the other 3 slots. When looking at the top 25 of all puzzle times, nearly every single team in the top 25 has at least 2 puzzle times in the top 25. Drip Swag Like a Broken Faucet and Prey Trick both have 3, while No Strong Preference is the only team to have 4. This right column shows the times that puzzle beat the next placing puzzle in seconds. In other words, the fastest time of all the puzzles beat the second fastest time for all the puzzles by 23 seconds. The cells highlighted in green show where that time is under 10 seconds. The cells highlighted in cyan show all of the times where that time is under 1 second. And this singular blue cell shows that AWGGR's time on the Zoo was less than 1/10 of a second faster than Prey Trick's Transformations time. Here is the rest of that chart for anyone interested. As for an update in worst and best ranks, everyone who got either second last or last in a puzzle this round unfortunately got a new worst rank, or tied their last worst rank. Oh no! BEFFDA also went down from 10 to 13, getting their first lower half placement this round. On the flip side, a lot of teams improved their best placement this round, the most obvious one being Team Uni, who went from far and away last place with the best placement of 16th, to shocking us all in 4th place in the Earth puzzle. There are now 7 teams that have won a round, that being the entire top 8 in averages except for 3rd place No Strong Preference, who have 1 silver medal and 3 bronze medals. Speaking of NSP, every single one of their placements this round either matched or was better than every single one of their placements for rounds 1 and 2. Talk about a comeback! On the other hand, with Team Uni's 4th place in Earth, only 2 teams remain that yet to have placed in the top half in any puzzle, that being Hot Mess Express and Team Rocket Cats, the latter of which has the worst best placement at 13th. Anyways, that's all the statistics for this round. 9 puzzles have come and gone, 9 puzzles remain for the next 3 rounds. Sopo 4A will release within the next week. I've gotten a bit off schedule due to having a busy week, but rest assured you will once again have exactly a week to complete it once it comes. See you then!